I welcome you all to this session on the conference on 2 days bank audit, statutory bank audits. Everyone is now all set for the bank audits that will be coming up starting from the 1st of April. I request Sunil Sanghvi sir, the chairman of the Ahmedabad branch, Neerav bhai, the vice chairman, and Hitesh bhai Pomal to join us for the dais. I request everyone to rise up for the ICAI motto. Now I request Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, CA Sunil Sanghvi sir, to address the gathering.
Respected Central Council member Sri Purushottam Bhai Khandelwal in his absence here. The first session faculty, Sri Anil Bhai Saxena from the Kanpur. Regional Council member and the keynote speaker of the today, Sri Hitesh bhai Pomal, Vice Chairman, Sri Neerav Agrawal, Secretary, Sri Sunit Shah, Past Chairman, my friend Sri Bisan bhai Shah, MCM, Sri Rinkesh Shah, and all seniors and friends who are attending this national conference on the statutory bank audit. Good morning to everyone. And I welcome all of you in this 2-day national conference on the statutory bank audit organized by the Professional Development Committee, ICAI, hosted by the Ahmedabad branch. I am happy to see you right now in the few numbers. I think many are at the downstairs, they will join. We are having various topics on the learnings on the bank audit, like planning and execution, audit under CBS environment, income recognition, asset classification and its provisioning, practical aspects of the bank branch audit, fraud reporting, use of IT software during the audit, LFAR reporting, and the audit of advances by the learned faculties across India. As you can see, the bank audit are important for ensuring the integrity of the financial institution and its practices. Undergoing audits and responding to the feedback generated by the audits, not only a financial institution management, but also its shareholder, creditors, lender, depositor, and relevant to the general public and government too. We should more focus on the advances and its classification, its proper provisioning, KYC compliance during the audit. I understand the main challenge for the audit is the shortage of time, basically. We have normally 10-15 days in hand when we get the allotment of the bank. So basically, again, the materiality concept and the advance is the backbone we have to go through thoroughly by using the IT software, the another techniques, which during the 2-day session, it will be guided by the various faculty during their sessions. I would insist all of you to understand. And after every session, last 15 minutes, we will keep the interactive session also. So whatever the queries, or if there is any lack of understanding or further elaboration is required, deliberation is required by the faculty, always you can request them. I wish happy learning to all of you and best of luck for allotment of the bank audit. Thank you.
Before we take the session further, I request all dignitaries to join us for the lamp lighting. Rinkesh bhai, Bishan bhai, Abhinav bhai, Anil Saxena ji, please join for. Now I request Chairman of the Ahmedabad branch, Sunil Sanghvi sir, and Neerav Agrawal, the Vice Chairman of the Ahmedabad branch, to felicitate Hitesh Pomal sir, the Regional Council member of Ahmedabad branch, also the past Central Statutory Auditor of State Bank of India. Also, we acknowledge his efforts in organizing this wonderful 2 days conference. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Hitesh Pomal sir to address the gathering.
Thank you, Sunit. Very good morning to all. Respected and experienced Chairperson of Ahmedabad branch, Sunil bhai, Vice Chairman Neerav, Secretary Sunit, all the committee members and my dear friends. And above all, I am also thrilled today. And after this 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes speech, I am also eager to listen to one of my greatest mentor and a writer and the contributor for the bank branch audit, who is pioneer. And on my request, on our request, basically he has come all the way from Kanpur. A big round of applause to Mr. Anil Saxena sir also. He will be taking the first session, so I will not take much of the time. The only thing, quite 2 or 3 issues that I would like to touch upon for this, before the commencement of this conference is, first and foremost is the opportunity with the bank branch audit. Every year I do discuss that it is shrinking. Let us start discounting the bank branch audit. Let us discount our concentration or our expectations for the bank branch audit in coming years. Previous year up to 2022-23, the Reserve Bank of India had issued the guidelines to all the banks to cover at least minimum 60% of the advances under the audit. And second, for the year 2023-24, it is left upon the bank. It is left upon to the bank to decide the quantum of the advances to be covered under audit. So under no circumstances the bank will increase this quantum, that is for sure. Second thing, with the use of technology, now remotest branch of any of the public sector bank also is covered under the CBS environment. And we very well know that if the private sector bank, which is the ICAI bank or the HDFC bank, they are the second largest bank after State Bank of India. If the private sector bank financial statements are audited by 2 statutory central auditors, only 2 statutory central auditors. There is no concept of bank branch audit in private sector banks. We do not have any logical argument also that why the bank branch audit for the public sector bank to be continued. And second thing, I also understand, क्योंकि पहला हूँ जયારે regional council election लड़वानो तो મને મારા મિત્રો કહેતા હતા કે હિતેશભાઈ we should not say this to the members કારણ કે એમાં આપણા વોટ કપાય. હવે હું લડવાનો નથી. So I can speak my heart out, right? And this is the fact of the life. We have to accept it. My humble request to you is that second important issue is that please don't resort to any of the methods which is unethical. મારી પાસે ઘણા બધા એક્ઝામ્પલ છે, બરાબર. I would not like to share for, મને બી ખબર છે મર્યાદા ભંગ થાય, but the thing is that we should not, never at the cost of our independence. That is my humble request. Second is, those who are new, who amongst us will be going for the bank branch audit if allotted for the first time this year? કેટલા લોકો છે આપણા મેમ્બર્સમાં? they will be going for the first time. એમાં અચકાવટ નથી, કોઈ એક્ઝામ નથી. I am not going to ask any question. Good. The most important part is that very first session will be taken by Saxena sir is about the importance of planning, જે આપણે કરતા જ નથી. I was just discussing with Anil Saxena sir that we have taken this statutory historically also, that we have taken this bank branch audit as the rental income હોય ને એની જેમ લીધેલું છે. Every year we are getting their income for 4 years. But every year, every 4 years, જ્યારે પણ આપણો પેલા શું કહેવાય ભાડુઆત છે એ ચેન્જ થવાનો હોય એટલે આપણે પાછા દોડવા માંડીએ કે હવે આપણને બીજે ક્યાં ઓડિટ મળશે. બટ સિન્સ this is the first time, this is the one time exercise every year, right? We are not keeping ourselves up to date with what is the regulation. What is the change in the regulation? What are the expectations of the regulators? At the same time, what are the expectations of the statutory central auditor as well as the bank also, from the bank branch auditor? The most important part here is, and that is the reason we are not keeping ourselves updated, because it is a one-time exercise, as we all know. The only thing is that before the allotment, those who are continuing for the second year or third year in any of the bank, my humble request is that you please give maximum time for the planning before visiting the branch. આપણે દર વખતે ડિસ્કસ કરીએ છીએ કે બ્રાન્ચમાં જઈએ તો એઝ એન ઓડિટર વી આર ધ મોસ્ટ અનવોન્ટેડ ગેસ્ટ ટુ એની ઓફ ધી હોસ્ટ. એકચ્યુઅલી એમને તો એવું હોય કે સાહેબ આવે, જલ્દી કામ પતાવે ને સાંજે ઘરે જાય. If we are also allotted the remote branch, we are also under that impression only to complete the branch as soon as possible and go to the home. Or they will give you all the મારું પેટર્ન વાક્ય છે, હું કહું છું, લાસ્ટ ટાઈમ બી કદાચ મેં કહ્યું હશે કે બેંકમાં કાજુ ખાવા નહીં, એનાથી કોન્સ્ટિપેશન થાય, બરાબર. એટલે એ લોકોને એ જ વસ્તુ છે કે અહીંયા સારામાં સારી પ્લેસ, આપણે ટુરિસ્ટ પ્લેસ ઉપર સર ફરવા જઈએ, અહીંયાનું મંદિર બહુ સારું છે. But we should not go for that. The only thing is that before visiting the branch, I think we must have the total thorough understanding of the expectations, what is our role. Even our team members should know what they have to check. And the second important part is that the terminology being used at the bank is very important. You see, what is the difference between performance guarantee and financial guarantee? We must know that. What is the importance and what is the difference between demand draft and pay order? Though it is redundant nowadays, but the thing is, it is very much required, right? What is the discounting income? What is the local rent discounting? What is the accounting treatment for local rent? What is the bill discounting? What is the bill discounting basically? And most important is what is fund-based and non-fund-based liability. The most ignorant part is the non-fund-based exposure in any of the borrower's account, right? What is the difference between working capital term loan and working capital demand loan? And since now most of the banks, and the first and foremost that I forgot actually to explain, definitely the speakers will explain, that there is no change in the IRSCP norms during this year by the Reserve Bank of India. જે કંઈ બી હતું 90 days, this, that, એ જ છે. The crucial part is that since we all know that all the banks, religiously all the banks, are coming up with the new innovative products for financing, right? Housing loan overdraft limit is also being sanctioned. Drop line OD limit. Working capital demand loan to હતી જ. A portion of the working capital is converted into working capital demand loan and the working capital term loan. What is the restructuring? What is the meaning of the restructuring? In general parlance, we can say that any change in the sanctioned terms during the tenure of the loan is nothing but the restructuring, barring some few exceptions. If during the cash credit tenure of 1 year, cash credit is always payable on demand, though it is a perpetual facility. It is never paid, right? But the thing is that these are the small issues of which the understanding by the partner in charge, engagement partner or the proprietor who will be signing the financials, and second to the team members. Most important is the team members. For paucity of time, I will not discuss that in great detail, right? Because at the time of drafting this, structuring this seminar only, I have personally discussed with all the learned speakers to take the practical examples and practical aspects which is very, very relevant at the bank branch audit level. If I discuss here that what is happening at the central office level is of no use to all of us. Let us be very clear about it. My responsibility is only to the branch which is allotted to me, and and I am paid for that only, not for the central statutory audit. What will be the impact of this thing at the central level? We are not supposed to decide. And second important part is that please, there is a thin line between concurrent audit and the statutory audit. રાઈટ આપણે આખા વર્ષમાં કોન્કરન્ટ ઓડિટ કરીએ ને એટલે આપણી નજર બી કોન્કરન્ટ ઓડિટના લાઇન ઉપર થઈ જાય, which may not be relevant for statutory audit. In statutory audit, what we are certifying and the verifying is the financial statement. Most important is that only, not in the internal audit. કોઈ ડોક્યુમેન્ટ છે એ લેપ્સ થઈ ગયું છે અને એને રિન્યુ નથી કર્યું. એ હવે બહુ તો LFARમાં રિપોર્ટ કરો, બટ ડોન્ટ વેસ્ટ યોર ટાઈમ એન્ડ એનર્જી ઇન ટુ દેટ. ઘણી વખત શું થાય છે કે આપણે એવું નાનું જોવા માટે થઈ અને જે ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ આઈરાક નોર્મ્સ જોવાના છે આપણે રહી જ જાય છે અને પછી સમય પૂરો થઈ જાય છે. So we should understand that we are here for the statutory audit. The maximum days allotted to us is not more than 4, and within 6 days or 1 week time we have to complete and finalize the particular branch which is being allotted. So earlier the 3 or 4 branches were allotted. I am sure now they are not allotting more than 2 branches. It is also very clear. So that way we have got sufficient time. But the thing is that the importance of planning, that definitely sir is going to take that lecture, and I am also keen to listen to him also. And no change I have discussed. Yes, the most important part is the materiality level. That is very, very important. 500 રૂપિયાની MOC પાસ કરવી, MOC શું બધાને ખબર જ છે, we should not discuss. But the humble request for my side is that drafting of MOC is also an art. As a central statutory auditor, and my fellow speaker sir will also agree with this, that substantial chunk of MOCs from the branch auditors, right, either were not correct or were to be got it rectified by the branch auditor itself. Otherwise, અમે ઇગ્નોર કરીએ છીએ ત્યાં. તમને એમ થાય કે મેં આ MOC આપી, બરાબર, પણ MOC અમે ત્યાં ઇગ્નોર કરીએ છીએ. Because the most important part is the effect of your observation. Number, materiality wise. Second thing, for any of your observation, if it is material, right, then my humble request is you can very well give the responsibility of verifying the advances even to your semi-qualified staff. That is not an issue at all. The point is, whatever the observation, if you concur with the views of your team member, irrespective of the fact that the bank branch incumbent is agreeing to your observation or not, definitely they will not. Most of the cases કદાચ સાચું હશે તો રેઝિસ્ટ કરશે કે સર અમે અત્યારે રેક્ટિફાઈ કરી દઈએ છીએ, તમે છોડી દો. But if that is material, then in that case, if you decide to give the MOC for a particular observation in your branch, right, in that case my humble request would be that you yourself please check the MOC. હવે શું છે, પેલા સિસ્ટમમાં MOC પેલી એક્સેલમાં બનાવે ને એવું નથી, પેલા સિસ્ટમમાં અપલોડ કરી દેવાનું ને એવું બધું છે, ઠીક છે. પણ મોસ્ટ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ ઇઝ આપણે જેવીમાં કરીએ છીએ, વોટ એવર ઇઝ ડેબિટ દેર હેઝ ટુ બી ધી ક્રેડિટ. દેટ ઇઝ મોસ્ટ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ પાર્ટ જે નથી થતું. એની ચેન્જ ઇન ધી એડવાન્સીસ, એની ચેન્જ. should have the corresponding effect in the second MOC also. All the banks have the separate MOC for the advances related changes. Just will take 1 more minute, right? I understand that I'm running over the time, but just will take 1 more minute. For example, your observation is that the interest is undercharged in a particular advances account to the tune of 50,000 rupees. Hypothetical example, right? What we are doing, what MOC we will give? That interest is to be increased and the advances, the particular advance is to be increased to that effect. Simple. આપણે આટલું કરીને MOC છોડ દઈએ. But the point is that since it is related to advances and as per the schedule 9, right, the advances are to be classified in 3 ways. આપણને ખબર જ છે. Let us not discuss. Segment wise છે, security wise છે અને exposure wise. Within India, geographical area wise. So any change in the advances will have the impact on the another advance related MOC also. Most of the auditors, I am telling you once again, they are not giving the effect of advances, sir, in the advance related MOCs. Second is materiality level. No concept ખબર જ નથી. મટીરિયાલિટી 500 રૂપિયાના લોકર રેન્ટ માટે આપણે MOC પાસ કરીએ છીએ. પ્રિન્ટિંગ સ્ટેશનરી કન્ઝમ્પશન 5000 રૂપિયા માટે કરીએ છીએ. એબ્સોલ્યુટલી નોટ મટીરિયલ. તમારા ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન્સમાં લખેલું હોય કે મટીરિયાલિટી લેવલ ઇઝ 50,000 or not, irrespective of fact that it is written or not, irrespective of the size of the branch. My suggestion would be that if anything less than 50,000 rupees revenue side, right, you may ignore. At most, you can insist them to pass the entry in the current year, that is April. Anyway, we'll be going in the April first week or second week only. But there is no materiality level so far as the IRSCP norms are to be complied with. If your account is NPA, irrespective of the fact that it is 50,000 rupees or 25,000 rupees, it has to be classified. This is the small difference in materiality. If my account is 25,000 rupees account is NPA in your opinion, right, there has to be the interest reversal. Most of the cases the auditors are not giving that effect. Most of the cases. 25,500 is the outstanding and in my opinion the account has to be classified as NPA for not payment of either interest or installment or installment. Right, that 500 rupees is the interest reversal, for which the MOC1, which will have the impact on the profit and loss account for reduction of or reducing the 500 rupees from my outstanding. And second common mistake is that for giving the effect of provisioning of 25% on substandard category, right, we are calculating 25,500 into 15%, which is not correct. 500 rupees is the interest reversal. And my provisioning should be on net 25,000 rupees. So these are the small issues. If time permits, we will have the session on the MOC drafting also, because I am taking at so many places. I think at branch also I have taken this lecture. And we'll see if time permit and the structure permits everybody after the allotment, obviously. એટલે આમાંથી બી થોડા ઓછા કેટલા લોકોને બ્રાન્ચ ઓડિટના એક્સપેક્ટેશન્સ છે એટલા માટે થઈને આવ્યા છે. હું પણ છું, કારણ કે મને પોતાને બી નથી 3 વર્ષથી. બરાબર ને? હા, એટલે મને બી નથી. આઈ એમ નોટ ડુઈંગ એની બ્રાન્ચ ઓડિટ ઓલ્સો સિન્સ લાસ્ટ 3 years. 21માં કર્યું, એના પછી નથી કર્યું. રાઈટ? But my humble request is that the design or the structure of these 2 days conference is so meticulously drafted, is designed in such a fashion with best of the best faculties from across the India. Basically, we should take maximum advantage of this, and I wish you all a very happy learning for next 2 days. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hitesh sir, for your wonderful sharing of your experiences of the Central Statutory Bank Audit. Naturally, આપણે બધા જે ઓડિટ કરીએ ચેકિંગ માટે, we can say it's like a checking માટે higher authorities પાસે જાય છે. So all our audit reports are going to the Central Statutory Auditors. He has vast experience. I think so, sir. We should keep your session as well probably if time permits. So maybe in a branch we can plan it. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. I thank you for coming rather and always supporting us for such a wonderful bank branch conference that we are holding every year. Also, I thank you all the participants for being present here in huge numbers. I wish you all the best that you get allotted, and also I wish you a happy learning. Thank you so much. A quick change of dais and we'll be starting with the session of Anil Saxena sir, audit planning and execution.